Something apocalyptic has occurred. It's the dark ending our species deserves.
I understand you're upset. Run!
I love the script. I had worked with Guy before on Forbidden Room. He had given me the 3 best shooting days of my career in Rumours, in Forbidden Room. I just love the scenario, the story, but I called him back and I said, no, I'm not going to do it, because I've been working in this TV series about family violence for now 3 years, and I've been playing a lot of emotions, and I just thought that the character was too emotional for me to jump in.
To provide clarity.
He feels the burden of leadership.
You can't solve all of Canada's problems.
But I could use a drink.
Oh.
So we hung up, and it stuck around the start. The character started to haunt me. And then like 5 days later, I dreamt about the bog people. And it was just getting bigger and bigger, so I just called him back and I said, if it's not too late, I guess I'm already working on it.
What's the secret to developing characters that are likable, despite perhaps being obnoxious at the very least?
We didn't begin from a place of like respect for world leaders. Like everybody sort of some people love world leaders and think they're doing a great job, but I think most people don't. And most people, we think they're doing a poor job and they're not up to the task. Maybe we think that nobody would be up to the task. Maybe we think that there's too many structural problems in place. But whatever it is, they don't seem up to the task. And but it's hard to write. It's no fun writing unlikable people. Or it is. No, it's fun. Or you think you're writing unlikable people, but you start to like them as you write them.
And they like each other.
They like each other, and then you get moved by their friendships or what have you. And then actors come in, and actors are usually likable. That's how they got where they are often. So I think there was an alchemy, and it certainly wasn't an initial attempt. I guess we probably would have been happy at some point if they were all the characters were thoroughly unlikable. Because I like movies where you don't like any of the characters and nobody's identifiable. But I think in this case there was a type of alchemy, chemistry between the actors as well, and a certain identification with them as writers. Just, I'm bad at my job too. That I know what that feels like.
Failing to live up to the moment as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It is important to say what we mean.
Yes, of course.
There's horrible problems in the world, and we as artists should be addressing them somehow.
We're making
but we're making this ridiculous movie.
Yeah.
You feel inadequate in the same way. So identification, actors, chemistry. That's how the likability came about, I would say.
How do you, when you're creating a project like Rumours, strike that balance between the kind of ridiculous, absurd, campy comedy without straying too far and leaving audiences confused?
I've confused many an audience over the decades, but I'm getting better, and I think it's just an instinct. I've in the past, whether I've succeeded or not, I would try to be really serious and evoke some sort of emotion that is fascinating me. And then when I realized I was being serious for too long, I would just I'd flat tire that myself with something goofy. And it just felt like I was hedging my bets, that I wasn't asking the audience to take me too seriously, things like that. And I think some sort of strategy like that is it's just nice to keep so many different tonal balls in the air. And probably we would be proceeding along with one thing, and it was just time to shake things up a little bit.
Massage might help.
This happens every time he drinks.
I love strong women! I love them too much!
I do tend to get a little caught up in the dramatics.
I just played the character as honestly as I could. It was written that way. You just have to... And it was obvious for me that it was really passionate.
Where's everybody?
I don't know.
Adam told me one thing that kind of geared me. He says he's like a teenager. And I remember when a teenager drinks, how passionate they can be and how like really small things can become so emotionally huge. So that's pretty much what that I played. But I just played him as honest as I could to him, as true to what he was living as I could. That's all.
Though Kate Blanchett is obviously fabulous in this film. But how and when did you guys know you wanted her attached to the project?
It happened pretty quickly. I guess we realized that to raise money for the film, we'd need to attach some kind of star.
We have been abandoned.
It doesn't make any sense. No one is coming.
But then it became apparent that Kate knew of my earlier work, My Winnipeg. She had been on a jury at the Sydney Film Festival when I went down there in 2008. She shows up talking about My Winnipeg in the Criterion Closet video on YouTube, and she knew one of our executive producers, Ari Aster, and Ari just gave me her phone number, and we arranged for a phone date, and we talked, and she came aboard. It was pretty simple.
Initially, we sort of were thinking, oh, we'll get a German actress because that would make sense. But yeah, we saw this Criterion Closet video, and we're like, hey, wait a minute. If there's one actress who we trust doing an accent, you know, it's Kate.
Swedish. She's just speaking Swedish.
Kate was just like any other actor that was there. She was not trying to be on top of anybody else. She was what I call a real actress. She was there to tell a story and to make it as good as possible. And she's very good at it. Very good. It was easy to play with her. It's always easier to play with good actors than to actors that are just either that are good actors but are there to show themselves, to make themselves a career, which happens once in a while. But she was not. Yeah, she was there for the right reason, and she has a lot of talent and smart.
One of the other great triumphs of Rumours is its sound design and the music in the film. But I wonder, you know, because it's so tingy and soapy and dramatic, it's reactive. It almost feels like a character in the film itself. As filmmakers, when do you start thinking about sound? Is that something that you're always thinking about in the writing phase, or does it come later? How important is it?
I mean, we thought for the tone we wanted and the sort of silliness of the script, this sort of theme of failure, we wanted music that was sort of like big and melodramatic, something you'd see in like in Oscar bait, something that was completely sincere and not signaling that this was comedy. So music in that sense was important for getting the Rumours tone, giving it, you know, there's this silly stuff going on, but we're treating it as if it's like Last of the Mohicans or Lord of the Rings or something, this like very earnest adventure. And the sort of the comedy, some of the comedy comes from the sort of failure of the story to reach the dramatic heights of the music.
That's right. It's sort of...
Yeah. And that sort of bathos, that failure, I think, is sort of part of the tone of the movie.
Yeah, it's a nice trick to make failure the theme of your movie.
Because then if you fail, you're like, oh, it was intentional.
It's on theme.
Yeah, it's a fun movie to watch, but it also opens minds. It pauses questions. About the future, actually. It talks a lot about the fact that the world is changing real quick right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't think we'll find answers, but we're looking for them.